There are multiple signs in life that you're subhuman, and as brutal as it sounds to call like ugly people subhuman, the only reason people say this in the manosphere is that we literally get treated like subhumans. And I'd like to share with you some signs that I got back when I was ugly, which was for most of my life, right? So for 22 years before I went to the gym, I got absolutely zero attraction, zero affection, zero looks from girls. And yeah, it was just brutal, man. So the first sign that you know that you are very, very ugly is that it has been so long that a woman has shown interest in you, or it's never happened, right? Like, no woman has ever showed interest in you. And it's been so long that you start thinking that women are asexual. Now, of course, there's all these videos going around of like women lusting for Chad, so that can destroy your view. But this is more like if you're blue pilled, right? So before you knew about the manosphere, all this shit. So for the blue pilled virgins, which is like the vast majority of society, it's like because 63% of Gen Z are virgins, but the vast majority of them are still blue pilled, still think that, they'll eventually get a girl, which they might if they want to beta box, but these guys, they genuinely start thinking that girls are asexual, and it's weird because I used to be in this category as well, and so if a guy around me would talk like sexually about a girl, like I would get weirded out. By the way, to be honest, these guys were simps, like because they would do this with every girl, right? Almost every girl that walked by, they were like, "Oh, look at her ass" or "Look at her tits," and if you're doing that, you're a fucking simp, right? Like, you're looking too much at other people that you can't get. But, it is fine, right, from time to time to do this. And even then, at those points when someone would do it, I would just feel weird. Someone would say to a girl, "Oh, she looks so hot in that dress," or whatever. And it would just weird me out. And that's because, yeah, I just really thought women were asexual. Like, they never showed anything like interest to me. The only time they did, and I was so fucking stupid, is, because I did have like higher grades. School has always come fairly easy to me, right? I've genuinely been the kid who barely studies and gets the high grades. And yeah, man, of course, these girls took advantage of that. So, they would act like very nice, smiling of, "Oh, what answer do you have here?" And me being a fucking dumbass. And, I would tell her all the answers, right? In full detail, by the way. Like, we're not talking, "Oh, yeah, the answer is this." I would give her the answer with the full explanation, with all the exceptions where the answer doesn't apply, with everything added onto it. I would give her the fucking ultra deluxe edition of the answer instead of giving her like the normal edition. Like with games, you have like the normal edition and you have like the deluxe, which gives you the DLC, the season pass, the skins. That's a type of answer I would give these girls, and yeah, man, it's just brutal. Like, it was really bad, and this is definitely a sign that you're very ugly. The next thing I noticed is guys don't even want to be around you. So the way you make friends in school, in high school, or the way popular guys make friends in high school is they choose. They choose who they want to be friends with, right? Because I've seen this. I've seen popular guys and a fight or something broke out, like not a physical fight, but like an argument. And then they would just stop hanging out with each other, right? Because like the Chads, they have a form of self-respect, right? If they don't like someone, then they're not gonna hang around with them. Now, of course, if they're in a group project together for school, they're gonna be forced to work together. But like in their own personal time, they won't spend time with that person. Which that's fine, right? That's actually the way you should be. That's how I am now too in university. But have you noticed how in high school the losers, the losers don't hang out with each other because they want to. The losers only hang out with each other because they're forced to. Because no one else wants to be friends with them and they're also afraid of sitting alone. And so they settle for each other. And this dynamic of like settling for each other is literally one of the most toxic things you can do because you don't even like this person. And so the part about being ugly comes in here, right? So you have this loser friendship group, which let's be honest, everyone in that group is a virgin. Everyone in that group is like low status, fucking trash, they're nothing. And in like the class hierarchy, you're all on the bottom. But every like friendship group also has its own hierarchy, right? And you're ugly when even in the loser hierarchy, right? So we're already at the bottom. But even in the loser hierarchy, you are the loser. So you're like the bottom of the fucking bottom. And when they're around you, they think they're the shit, they're comfortable, they even mock you. And yeah, that's when you know you're ugly, because that's what I experienced as well in high school. I was with these loser friends, and I vividly remember this one part, bro, where I took the bus and I sat next to my loser friend. And this will never go away from my memory, man. So this cute girl walks by, and she was in our high school, and of course she's not gonna sit next to us, right? So she just skipped us and she sat all the way in the back of the bus, but she did say hi. And when this guy said hi back to her, he like pitched his voice very high. So instead of just saying "oh hello," it's like "oh hello, hello, how are you doing?" And I remember ever since that moment, I got so much more like self-respect for myself. Like I stopped hanging around them because I was like, as ugly as I am, as subhuman as I am, even I don't put women on a pedestal like that. Like, what the fuck? Why am I letting myself get put down by someone who acts like that? And yeah, that's when I just stopped hanging out with them. That's when I deleted their numbers. And that's also when, when they would talk shit to me, I would talk shit back, right? And yeah, that's when I just distanced myself from them, which obviously meant I was lonely in my last years of high school, but I prefer being alone than with these shitbags, which that leads me to the third point of knowing that you're subhuman, is that you prefer being alone. And that's just due to the fact that the like positive and nice people don't want to be around you, because typically like chads and like the Stacys, they're actually very nice people from my experience. I know like in this manosphere people talk so much shit, oh Chad can do whatever and no one hates him, which I guess that's true. But one thing I noticed in the university that I go to now, I have like two Chad school friends, I guess you could say. We're not really friends, we don't really hang out outside of school, but inside the school we got really well along. And yeah, one thing I noticed is they're just very nice. Like they remember shit you tell them, bro. Like I had this one dude, I told him fucking, I don't know, a few months ago, I told him that like I'm into reading books. Or, like when he asked me like what my hobbies are, and he just brought that shit up recently, and I was like, oh shit, he remembers. And I've never had that with like a normie, right? I've never had that with, especially like another ugly dude. Like when you tell them shit, it's like one thing goes inside of their ear and it comes out the other. The next time you tell them I'm into books, it's like, oh, you are? It's like they got fucking dementia, bro. Like, like every time you tell them, oh, I'm into reading. Oh, are you? Oh, I'm into writing, man. Oh, really? I didn't know that. But yeah, with the chads, I noticed these guys are very nice in general. But the only reason I feel like I can like hang around them now is because I've built a body, and that's to any man that's respectable because they know the work that you put in, right? Maybe girls don't give a fuck, but any dude and anyone who's like in shape can you know this. Like when you get in shape, you think, oh, all the girls are gonna lust over me, which they will if you like post shirtless pictures on Tinder. But just on your day-to-day life, it's mostly dudes who will point out like, oh bro, your forearms, your biceps, your fucking chest. Like it's mostly dudes who will point this thing out. And yeah, man, these chads, like they noticed, and I can just hang around them now. They're very nice people. But yeah, I can guarantee you, if I didn't go to the gym, if I was still skinny, if I was still a stick, they probably wouldn't want me to be around, right? They probably would have this very repulsive like behavior when I would be around, because that's what I remember. Every time I was with someone who was more attractive than me, be that a girl or a dude, right? They would always have an excuse to like leave. I would talk to them 5 minutes, like, oh, my friend is there, and then they just fuck off. And yeah, that's just brutal, man. And because that happens so often, at a certain stage, you just start wanting to be alone. Or in my case, I just started making friends online, which, I guess that was a good cope for its time. But yeah. So if you prefer being alone, you're definitely in this stage. The next thing, and this one is also brutal, is that you remember the waitress or the cashier girl who said hello to you and smiled. And these are some dark days, bro, when I had that, because I know like there's dudes who are going through that still to this day, which, that's like horrible to go through, because that means that you get so little affection that a person doing their job, so cashier, right? She's literally forced to smile and say hello, like that's her job. That like warms your heart. She's not giving you a smile because she wants to. She's doing it because she's forced to. And, now you're having all these fantasies about her, thinking about her all day. And, a lot of men say, oh, that's so unhealthy and you shouldn't be having that. But the thing is, these guys don't know. Like, they don't know what it's like to be fucking lonely. I know. I know what it's like to not get absolutely any affection, and it's not normal, like it's just a side effect of being isolated completely. And I get it, man, because I was the same. Now I wouldn't sit here and think about them for days because I still have my hobbies. But yeah, there definitely were days where like I would go to a store, I would just buy fucking like bread or something. And yeah, bro, the whole day I'm thinking of all these like fake situations, with this cashier girl of like imagining myself in my head, like asking her number out and then us going out together, just walking through the park, like I just having all these fantasies with a girl that I don't even know her fucking name, bro. Like I literally, that's like a very basic thing, right? Knowing her name. I don't even know her name. And I'm over here thinking about her, like, that's over, man. Like, if you're here, that's bad. Now, the last sign that you're ugly is that people just argue against your point for no fucking reason. Like, I remember this so much back in high school, bro, is that, this is known as the halo effect, right? But the most little things that I would do, people would bitch about it. Like, the way I breathe, the way I tie my shoes, the way I like dress, which by the way, I didn't dress like very weirdly. I just dressed in a very basic manner, right? T-shirt, jeans, sneakers. Nothing extraordinary, but also like nothing bad. Very basic, normie outfit. And yeah, people would just point out to me, "Oh, your shirt looks weird, bro. Oh, the jeans. What the fuck are those jeans?" Like they would just argue against me for absolutely no reason and don't even think about like me starting my like me bringing up my own points. This is obviously also my own fault because I was like a fucking yes man back then. I would always agree with everyone, right? So, for example, if my fake friends at the time would shit on video games, I would also shit on them. Even though I was a fucking gamer, man. I was too much of a pussy to, have a spine to hold my ground. But yeah, man, the whole arguing thing, that is like literally the first thing I noticed after I went through my gym transformation that I could finally just fucking speak my mind, bro. It's so freeing. It's so freeing that I can just say to people like, "Oh yeah, I wear these shoes because I like them." And then the other person just shuts up or they tell me, "Oh, I like them too." But whereas back then, it's like I would get disrespected over anything. Like I said, bro, it didn't matter what I did, that's the halo effect, right? That's why you see all these women, "Oh, I like the way Brad Pitt carries himself, the way he looks, the way." It's like, no, bro, you like that he's fucking attractive, that he has a wide jaw, that he has like hunter eyes, full head of hair. That's what you like. But it's just that they don't know how to like say it, right? But yeah, for me, it's just brutal, man. It's so like, it just makes you tired of wanting to interact with people. That's what I remember. Like, they don't want to have friends, which, that goes back to preferring to being alone. Because all my interactions became so, like, needlessly filled with arguments about the fucking tiniest things, bro. Like I said, my shoes, the type, that's also another thing, the type of games I played. Like, so I played obviously like every fucking dude, FIFA, Call of Duty, GTA, those are like the popular games, right? Everyone plays those, like every gamer. But, if I would mention to people, "Oh yeah, I liked Red Dead Redemption," which, by the way, that's also fucking mainstream, right? Like, let's be realistic here. Red Dead Redemption is not a niche game. It's not like this small indie game. It's mainstream, but it's a single player game. And yeah, man, these people, again, they get weirded out. They tell me like, "Oh, I can't imagine playing alone. Like, why the fuck would I play a game alone?" And, these days I just don't have that. Now, that could also be because the people in high school that I grew up with were just assholes in general. But the thing is, everyone can be an asshole, right? To the right person. Because if back in high school I was going to the gym, if I had a V-taper, if I had a thick neck, if I had fucking my chest puffed out, if I had abs, no one would talk to me like that. Because that's the halo effect. Like, no one would talk to me. Because it's easy, right? Like, imagine, bro. There's a guy in front of you. He's short, fat, bald. Of course, you're gonna mock him. Like everything that comes out of his mouth. "Oh, you play Red Dead Redemption? Well, you're such a weirdo." Now imagine someone standing in front of you, 6'4", with a V-taper, puffed out chest, who's also saying, "I play Red Dead Redemption." You're gonna think twice about mocking the other guy because he's not just taller than you, he's wider than you, and Yeah, it's just brutal, man. Like the last one, that's why I kept this one to the last, is the whole questioning thing. It just made me tired because this whole manosphere, mostly it talks constantly about girls, right? Oh, girls don't do this, girls don't do that. But this thing about the whole argument shit, bro, this just made me tired of interacting with other human beings, like fucking anyone, man, women, kids, parents, like didn't matter, bro. Everyone I talk to would just always deflect my shit and throw it back at me, and yeah, it's just bad, man, when you're ugly, and I really feel bad for like the people who can't outgrow it, like the ugliness, because it just sucks, man. Like it's bad. But yeah, that's the video. There's probably more signs that I could talk about. Mainly like girls giving you a disgusting face or girls getting scared by you. But yeah, that's the video.